Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Hereby call to order the regular meeting of the Coachella Valley Water District Board of Directors here in Palm Desert, and today is July 12th, 2022. Let me do the introductory remarks first. I'd like to make clear for the record that this meeting is being conducted as permitted under AB 361 and Board Resolution 2022-10. Today's meeting is presented in a hybrid format, in person at CVW's Steve Robbins Administration Building and via Zoom. Members of the public may participate in person or via Zoom. Zoom details are listed on the meeting agenda. The meeting is streamed live on the district's website and YouTube channel. Members of the public who wish to comment on any item on the agenda or within the jurisdiction of the district will have 3 minutes. Public comment may be provided in person, via Zoom, or by emailing the clerk of the board. Such comments will become part of the board meeting record. We do have at least one director attending today remotely, so I'll make sure to call on them directly, and so that they have positive participation, and then I'll make sure we'll do everything as a roll call vote today. And would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And roll call, please.
Good morning. Yes, President Powell.
Here.
Vice President Estrada, I believe, will be absent. Director Bianco will be absent as well. Director Aguilar
Here.
and Director Nelson.
Yes, I am here.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll need to make sure that Director Nelson stays with us through closed session and beyond, because we have to, you can't leave, Peter.
I'm not going anywhere, John.
Good, thank you. And I'll be calling on you directly just to make sure that we don't lose you, because silence doesn't mean consent in this case, I don't think. Good, all right, so do we have any additions, deletions, or adjustments to the agenda? Don't
No,
know
sir, nothing
about
we're
any.
aware of.
I didn't have any. Is there anyone from the public wishing to comment at this time?
And Mr. President, we do not show any members of the public online at this time.
Okay, well, let me know if anyone does join, or if you're on there and being quiet, use the raise hand feature, and we'll see what we can do. So, employee recognition. I believe we have Olivia here. So I think there were more. I don't know, I read some, right? There was others. Yes. Yeah, so we had Tyler Halt, utility coordinator, 20-year anniversary. And there's a nice write-up on him him or her, it's him, in the packet. I guess it doesn't really matter, the gender. We also have Olivia, who's here. Olivia has worked with CVWD, and this is an anniversary, not a retirement, with CVWD since 2002. So 20-year anniversary. She has a Bachelor's of Science degree in biology, which helped her when she began her career at CVWD as a laboratory technician. She was soon promoted to water quality analyst, engineering technician, recycled water manager, and since 2008, the non-potable water operations manager. As the non-potable water operations manager, her focus is to work with customers to encourage connection to and use of non-potable water sources for golf course, landscape, and agricultural irrigation. In addition, Olivia manages the non-potable water crew and the control operators who are responsible for several district programs that are listed here, and including non-potable water, cross-connection prevention, operation and maintenance of the distribution system in Mid-Valley Pipeline, operation of the Coachella Canal, operation of the Palm Desert Groundwater Recharge Facility, control center, which monitors all district alarms and facilities, and implementation of the alarm management program. Olivia has been a dedicated CVW employee for 2 decades now. She has paved the way for CVW's non-potable water program to be successful. Olivia is a good manager and communicator that is passionate about her job. She's the type of supervisor that doesn't take no for an answer and always finds a solution to make things better. If you want to know anything about non-potable recycled water, just ask her and she will be sure to educate you about everything that is in the Purple Book, the California Code of Regulations for Recycled Water. So congratulations for 20 years, Olivia, and come on up. Have something.
Yeah, come on up, come on down, please. Okay, congratulations.
There you are.
Minutes, 30 minutes. So the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. I moved out in '97, and 5 years later, started working here. Learned all kinds of things about water quality and water resources and regulations and the golf course industry, above all. And I met my husband here. Been married 12 years, and he retired after 29 years of service. And I hope to do the same when I'm eligible, God willing. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much for everything you did. Stay well.
COVID is spread. So you always double check these things because they change when I'm not looking. There's 2 items on the consent calendar. Items 6A and B. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I'll make the motion.
I will second that motion, Director Nelson.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. That's 3 in favor.
We have to do a roll call.
Oh,
It was so good, though. I heard each one separately.
We're fast.
Yeah, yeah. No, we're going to repeat that vote and do it by roll call.
President Powell,
Yes.
Director Aguilar,
Aye.
and Director Nelson.
aye.
Thank you.
That also passed 3-0. Forgot about it, but there we are. Onto the action calendar. I see Dan Ruiz up here. Go ahead, Dan, with 8A.
Good morning, President Powell, board members.
Morning.
Here this morning to request authorization for the general manager to allow us to solicit bids for the 1 million gallon reservoir located in North Shore. So this reservoir is intended to add more storage and to also allow us to take out a 48-year-old tank out of service so we can see if we can rehab that tank. North Shore is in need of additional storage, fire flow, et cetera. So this tank will help that community with their water demands. The general manager recently signed a request to obligate funds from USDA on June 30th, the amount of $3.3 million. So we're waiting for USDA to process that funding agreement, which we expect to see that within the next week or so. So this project would be funded by a combination of loan and grant from USDA. The loan is about 2.1 mil. The grant portion is about 1.2 million to fund this project. So with that, I would be happy to answer.
The grant is about 1.2?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Good.
And there you can see the existing tank and
So the idea is that the old tank was going to get rehabbed?
yes, since there's only one tank, we can't take it out of service, otherwise
Right.
the community wouldn't have water. And so this tank has been in service for about 48 years. We haven't had a chance to do any work on this tank, and you can see the inside of the tank needs some attention.
It's not bad for 48 years, but I get your point. So you're going to add capacity and have a new tank, and then we'll have a backup with the old tank.
Correct.
All right. But this project doesn't include rehabbing the old tank.
It does not. We need to assess the condition of this tank. Once we drain it, look at the floor and get a better look.
Yeah, okay. I mean, is the new tank capacity enough that you don't need, the backup would, the other one would just be a backup probably, huh?
It would provide additional storage, but the 1 million gallon tank is sized to stand on its own.
On its own, yeah, okay.
And we did purchase a 3-acre site several years ago from McNaughton. The board had approved in agreement with that, so we have sufficient area to build additional tanks in the future. So it's a long-term program.
Good. Good. Is there a motion to approve 8A?
I'll make the motion to approve 8A.
I will second that motion.
Thank you. I appreciate the second from Director Nelson, so I know that he's still attached. Good. With no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
President Powell,
Aye.
Director Aguilar,
Aye.
and Director Nelson.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
B from Finance. Hi, Carrie. Good morning.
Good morning, President Powell, members of the board. So this is an annual item that we bring back for approval. This is to approve 2 resolutions to allow us to add the tax levy with the Riverside County for our 3 assessment district and 1 for the Community Facility Districts 102. So if there's any other questions, I can answer that.
Not for me. Okay. Is there a motion to approve 8B?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
I will second that motion.
Thank you. And let's do the roll call vote.
President Powell,
Aye.
Director Aguilar,
Aye.
and Director Nelson.
Aye.
Beginning to
Thank
see
you.
a pattern here.
It's working really well. I like it. Go team. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
And then on to C, operations. This is the Tri-Palm Estate and Country Club non-potable. Oh, glad you're here.
Hi, this action item is for the approval and of the signing of the general manager on the non-potable agreement for Tri-Palms Estate and Country Club. And this will be part of the pipeline expansion from Warp 10. We already have the line going across the 10 freeway to Classic Club, and this would just continue west to all the way over to Tri-Palms.
Good. Nothing unusual in this agreement?
It's a they'd be a type A customer.
Type A, yeah.
And it's covered by the Clean Water State Revolving Fund loan, this backbone on Varner.
Right, okay, good. Is there a motion to approve 8C?
I will move item 8C.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
President Powell,
Aye.
Director Aguilar, and Director Nelson.
Aye.
Thank you.
And then D is a different type of customer, but similar. Palm Royale.
Yeah, Palm Royale would be a type C customer because they are in the east rack. They pay the east rack rate for their well use right now. They're on the corner of Fred Waring and Washington, the southeast corner. This would be part of the Warp 10 expansion. Right now, we're going down Hobley Lane for Woodhaven, Oasis, the Resorter, and Bermuda Dunes Country Club. We would just have a branch going south on Warner Trail down past Fred Waring to connect Palm Royale, and it's part of Southwest Community Church and the Innuel's Tennis Gardens. So this agreement is for Palm Royale. We're asking for the approval for the general manager to sign the non-potable water agreement.
I have a question for Jeff Foray. I live in the Starlight Dunes, which is just to the east of Palm Royale. So I'm wondering how many feet away, do I need to be exempt from a conflict of interest, or, you know, in what range will I have a conflict?
Well, the first level of analysis, Director Nelson, is approximately 500 feet, but that doesn't even come into account unless there's some reasonable, unless there's some possibility that this project and this non-potable water agreement will somehow improve or impact the value of your property interest. So from your description, this project, I don't believe, would have a material financial impact on the value of your real property, unless I'm mistaken about that. So it's 500 feet, but that doesn't come into play unless there's some possibility that this project could have some impact on your real property value. It's bottom line.
No, he's in a different community.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm okay on this. I'm probably about 600 feet, so.
And this is a different community than the one in which you live in.
And they
Yeah,
already,
it's not that,
yeah, they already have water.
not,
Right, so this wouldn't
Yeah.
impact your neighborhood. So you're okay, but
it's just a type of water. So I think we're okay, Jeff. I just wanted to check.
No, I
with you on
appreciate that.
Good. We made it through that hurdle. Is there a motion to approve 8D Palm Royale?
Director
I will
Aguilar,
second that motion.
just a note, your mic is off, so we're not
Sorry.
capturing that. Thank
I'll
you.
make the motion.
So we have a motion and a second.
I will second.
Okay, good. Roll call, please.
President Powell,
Aye.
Director Aguilar,
Aye.
and Director Nelson.
Aye.
Thank you.
We are moving.
We are moving. Wow. Thanks, Olivia. Good start to your next 20 years. So on to informational, we have written communications, and if I could open that, I would.
2 items.
Yeah, there were 2, both resolved.
Yes.
Very complimentary from Katrina Heinrich. It's nice. And then on to board general comments. Why don't we start with Director Nelson?
Let's see. Sorry about that. I don't have any comments this morning, John. Thank you.
Okay.
No comments, Mr. President.
You know, I'd just say that I was pretty impressed with the city of Rancho Mirage stepping up with an extra $3 for the turf conversions. And that includes homeowners and HOAs up to whatever those limits were. I mean, that really makes a difference for if somebody's on the fence about whether they're going to do a project. $6 goes a long ways and might even cover the whole thing depending on what you do or how you do it to remove turf. So kudos to the city of Rancho Mirage, and hopefully we'll have some other cities that see the wisdom in that and follow suit.
Maybe we can start a challenge match.
Yeah. Well, we've already got the matching funds there. They just need to put up their $3. Yeah. Okay. And then, you know, I'm curious to see how, maybe we can get reports back to see if there's a stronger uptick in applications in Rancho Mirage. That'd be good, useful information that might spur other cities to do the same. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Okay, good. Any requests for future agenda items from the board?
Yes, sir.
All right, so why don't we get into the reports? It looks like Director Nelson, you have the 2 there. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, John. Yes, on June 29th, the California agencies met to prepare a agenda with the California Natural Resources Agency and the Bureau of Reclamation that would be occurring on the next day. So there were representatives from the from staff, from the California agencies that receive Colorado River water, including PBID, IID, Metropolitan Water District, San Diego County Water Authority, CVWD. And we prepared for a meeting that occurred subsequently on the next day, on the 30th, with Secretary Crowfoot, as well as Commissioner Tootin, there in, let's see, this was in Ontario, and it was a very good meeting on the 30th. Secretary Crowfoot also brought with him Arturo Delgado, his Salton Sea director, and we talked a lot about the upcoming potential cuts in Colorado River water deliveries due to the commissioner's request to look at a 2 to 4 million acre foot reduction of supplies because of the desired protection of lake levels in Lake Powell and Lake Mead. And so we had some robust conversation surrounding that. Later in the afternoon, we met strictly with the Bureau, and then in the evening, there was a time set aside to meet with the Salton Sea Authority to provide input about the possibilities of some conservation programs that could occur because of the call to reduce water delivery. So it was, I think, helpful and engaging. Subsequently to those meetings, I'll just keep going for right now. Subsequently to that, we met on Wednesday, July 6th, with the California Caucus in preparation for Bureau Reclamation meetings July 7th and 8th in Las Vegas. That meeting was a debrief. On the 6th was a debrief of what was discussed in Ontario, and then preparation to meet with the Bureau and the 7 basin states in Las Vegas. So on July 7th, we met with the 7 basin states, and July 8th as well, really talking about just how it might look in terms of coordination between the 2 basins. A lot of discussion and about that with Commissioner Tootin, and so those were somewhat productive meetings, and we will be meeting again at the end of this week on Friday. Let's see, that would be July 15th in Los Angeles. So it's been a busy couple weeks, and we continue to talk about the dry hydrology and how to deal with it.
Thank you. Director Aguilar, did you have any other meetings to report?
I did not.
Okay, and I had just, wasn't really a meeting, it was on July 5th, I did my AB 1234 ethics training for the 2-hour mandatory training, which takes more than 2 because you have to do it on the computer and it's monitoring your time. But anyways, that went well. Is there a motion to approve per diem for the meetings reported on?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, roll call, please.
President Powell,
Aye.
Director Aguilar,
Aye.
and Director Nelson.
Aye.
Oh, good. Thank you. That passed 3-0. We have next 12A General Manager report.
Sure, at the rate we're going, we may be done before 9 o'clock. I just have the standard stuff. COVID, we are experiencing an uptick in COVID-related situations. We currently have 8 folks off work because they either qualify as having COVID or have a direct contact household member positive. We ask them to stay home for a period of time until they either develop symptoms or they're cleared to come back to work. With regard to vaccination status, it hasn't changed much at all. 457 have provided proof of vaccinations. We have 25 submitted exemptions. Those are on hold pending resolution of the court case that has been, I guess, pending. We fall under the administration's mandate for federal doctors. That has been challenged, and there's been no final ruling. So until that resolves, we're not moving ahead with our own policy here. And that concludes my remarks, sir.
Thank you. Council report.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Just wanted to mention a couple of cases that have recently been decided. One is in regard to a challenge to the Trump era revisions to a number of Endangered Species Act rules. Those revisions had changed a certain criteria for removing and reclassifying certain species and allowed federal agencies to weigh the economic factors in doing so. With the change of administration, there were a number of challenges to those revisions, and the court ruled that those were not valid and overturned them. Also, since that time, of course, with the Biden administration coming in, they have voluntarily rescinded those rules as well. But the court proceeded with the plaintiffs, and including a number of environmental groups, but it was decided that those factors, such as the economic impact factors that the Trump administration had proposed, will no longer be in effect.
Thank you.
Another case that I wanted to mention was California River Watch versus City of Vacaville. As you know, this case has dealt with over the years the responsibility or liability of the city in regard to chromium, hexavalent chromium. There are various rules and laws by which somebody can claim a violation of water quality rules. In this particular case, it involved the RCRA, which is the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act. California River Watch brought an action claiming that the city of Vacaville was liable for the hexavalent chromium that went through their wells, and that was a violation because it was a disposal of solid waste. And the court in that case ruled that no, the transmission that the city did not have a connection to waste disposal and could not be held liable for transportation of that substance through the means of getting the water from the ground in the wells and transporting it through the system. There was no allegation that ultimate customers were receiving water that was not of appropriate water quality, but it was a means by which to perhaps hold the city liable. And the court said no, under the RCRA law, that's not the transportation of a solid waste. And then finally, I wanted to mention AB 2313, and this has to do with, this would authorize the Judicial Council, which, as you may know, is the state agency that deals with the funding and governing of the state court system. This bill, AB 2313, would provide that on or before January 21st, 2025, the Judicial Council may establish a program that provides training and education to judges in technical, scientific, legal, management, and infrastructure actions relating to water. The program would include the development of a water conflict education program, which may include training on both Western regional and California-specific water conflicts. And then if this program is instituted, if the law passes and the program is instituted, then for actions relating to water, the court shall prioritize the assigning of a judge with training or education provided pursuant to this. if both of the following conditions are met. 1, the court has a judge with this training or education. 2, the judge with the training or education is available for assignment to an action relating to water related issues. And then finally, there is already a program by which a judge may seek to have a consultant to consult during a water case on the details or the on the background of water law issues. That law currently allows for that consultant to be retained by a judge for a groundwater adjudication case. This law would expand it to other types of water issues in the future. So not passed yet, but would be interesting, especially in the water world where the issues can be complex and where judges with the background and support in that area would be beneficial. And that's all I had today, Mr. President.
Thanks, Jeff. Okay. Do we have any department reports?
Nobody seems to be jumping to their feet to head to the microphone. No, sir.
Don't see any. Good. At this time, the board will recess into closed session to consider the items on the agenda. We will reconvene following closed session and to report out.
I'll jump over as well. Thanks, John.
Mr. President, if
We need Peter. Is Peter? He's on? Okay, good.
Yes,
So,
I can hear just fine.
yeah, there you go. Thank you. Regular meeting is hereby reconvened. We do have one reportable item, which Council Foray will report right now.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. The board met in closed session on item 13A and a motion by Director Aguilar and a second by Director Nelson and a vote of 3-0. With 2 absent, the board took action to authorize the rejection of the claim and authorize the sending of the appropriate notice. There was no reportable action on items 13B or C.
Thank you. And with no further business and hearing no objection, we are adjourned. Thank you.